Why does he respect her but not me? Have you ever asked yourself that? Maybe you've seen a woman who isn't prettier than you. She's not richer than you. She isn't more successful than you. And she doesn't even seem more confident than you. Yet, the man she's with listens to her, values her, protects her, respects her, and you wonder, what does she have that I don't? Well, I don't think it's what you think, because respect isn't something you demand. It isn't something you negotiate, and it certainly isn't something you force. Actually, it's something that's built quietly and over time through attitudes that most people completely overlook. Well, today I want to share 5 of those attitudes, not because they're tricks, not because they'll make every man fall in love with you, but because they're patterns I've consistently observed in emotionally healthy relationships. And before we begin, let me tell you, yes, I'm a man, and maybe you're wondering, what could a man possibly know about what women go through? Well, that's a fair question, but here's something I've learned after years listening to women. If many of your disappointments happen in relationships with men, sometimes understanding how healthy men experience relationships gives you a perspective you've never had before. So let's have a honest conversation. I will break down this topic into 7 parts, okay? The first part is respect starts before the relationship starts. Here's something I wish more women knew. Respect doesn't begin when you're already dating. It begins long before. It begins in the relationship you have with yourself. Now, let me ask you something. When someone disappoints you, do you immediately wonder what you did wrong? Like, what I did wrong? When someone pulls away, do you instantly feel like you need to fix something? When someone stops testing, does your peace disappear? If your emotional stability depends on another person's behavior, respect becomes difficult. Because without realizing it, you start negotiating your own value. And people notice that, not consciously, but emotionally. Well, imagine this. You meet a man. The first week is amazing. Wow, that's good, fantastic. The conversation flows naturally. Well, then suddenly, one day, he replies 6 hours later. Nothing dramatic happened. He was working. He was busy. But your mind starts racing. Like, you're doing yourself questions like, did I say something? Is he losing interest? Should I send another message? Now, pause. Breathe. Notice something. The problem wasn't the 6 hours. The problem wasn't. The problem, in fact, was what happened inside you during those 6 hours. Respect grows around emotional stability, not emotional perfection. Those are 2 different things. The part 2, stop trying to be chosen. Can I tell you something that may feel uncomfortable? Many women aren't dating. They are auditioning. Well, every date becomes, does he like me? Am I enough? Will he choose me? But healthy relationships don't begin with trying to convince someone you're valuable. They begin when 2 people discover whether they're compatible. That's completely different. Notice the shift. Instead of asking, how do I make him like me? Ask yourself, how do I actually feel around him? Do I feel calm? Do I feel respected? Do I feel emotionally safe? Or I'm constantly performing? Because here's what happens. The woman who's constantly trying to be chosen often ignores the fact that she's doing all the choosing too. You have standards. Your opinion matters. Your feelings matters. You are not interviewing for the position of being loved. You are discovering whether this person deserves access to your emotional world. That's confidence. And the confidence naturally earns respect. Well, the part 3, calm is more attractive than emotional intensity. Here's something I've seen surprisingly often. People confuse chemistry with emotional chaos. They think We argue all the time, but the passion is incredible. No, no, that's not always passion. Sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's unpredictability, sometimes it's two nervous system triggering each other. Healthy men don't feel safer because everything is dramatic. They feel safer because they know where they stand. Imagine two different women. The first one, every disagreement becomes a crisis. Every misunderstanding becomes a test. Every silence becomes evidence that something is wrong. Okay, this is one woman. Now imagine another woman. She still expresses what she feels. She still has boundaries. She still disagrees. But she doesn't make every emotional moment feel like an emergency. Which relationship feels more emotionally safe? Exactly. Emotional regulation isn't about becoming quiet. It's about becoming clear. And clarity builds respect much faster than emotional intensity ever will. Right? When you keep this in mind. The part 4 is respect his effort, not just his results. This next one is often misunderstood. Have you noticed how easy it is to point out what someone didn't do? You forgot this. You should have done that. Why didn't you think about this? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine someone notices your effort, not because it was perfect, but because it was genuine. How does that make you feel? Seen, appreciated, encouraged? Men are no different. One of the biggest misconceptions is believing respect comes from constant evaluation, and it doesn't. Healthy respect grows where appreciation exists. That doesn't mean accepting poor behavior, absolutely not. It means recognizing sincere effort instead of making perfection the minimum requirement. Because when someone feels that nothing they do is ever enough, eventually they can stop trying.